If you're a handmade business looking to level up your Instagram marketing, start growing your followers, and actually make sales, watch this video. I'm going to share with you why just posting photos after photos is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Instagram, and the secret strategies you should be using instead. Hi, my name is May, and I help makers, artists, and designers make a consistent income from selling their handmade products online. Instagram is a really popular platform for marketing your handmade business. It's visually driven, which is great for us handmade business owners because everything we do is visual, right? 52% of Instagram users are female, and the largest age category are 18 to 24-year-olds. And 3 out of every 4 people aged 18 and 24 use Instagram. And roughly 1 out of every 2 people ages 25 to 49 use it as well. So it's not really true that only teenagers use the platform. I've worked with a lot of business owners, and chances are your ideal customer is within this demographic. And if your customer is there, it would be a good idea for you to be there too. If you use it correctly, Instagram can convert into some sales for your business. I've gotten sales from there, and so have my students who have taken my training. But before we get into the details about how to make Instagram work for you, I want to tell you why relying on Instagram 100% is not a great strategy for your business. It is a great component of your marketing strategy, but it shouldn't be all of it. First of all, you don't control your list of followers. Facebook, who owns Instagram, does. That means that if the service decides your account has violated the terms of service, it can shut down your account and you lose that audience. Or let's say in a few years, Instagram is out of fashion, then you have absolutely no way to transfer that audience to the newest platform. So this puts it in a category completely apart from traditional digital marketing techniques like your website and your email newsletter. It is an inherent problem with all social media platforms. I always tell business owners that if you are serious, you need a website and an email list. These are avenues that you control. You can email customers on your email list anytime you want for as long as you want, and no one can take that away from you because it's an asset you own. And if you want to switch email services, you can export those users to the new service. This is a serious difference that you should definitely keep in mind. The second reason Instagram and any other social media platform isn't all that is the algorithm. The algorithm is this black box computer program that decides what content you see and what content you don't. Now, I don't think the algorithm is all that bad, but it is necessary. I mean, most users follow hundreds or thousands of accounts, right? And what would your feed look like if you saw every post from every account? You would just be totally overwhelmed. Even if you sat down for 24 hours straight scrolling through your newsfeed, and you just wouldn't be able to get ahead of all the content and posts that people are publishing every second. The algorithm is part of ensuring users get the best experience, and it shows them the best content that they think they'll enjoy most, and that experience is also personalized and unique to every user. Well, okay, so that's great for the user. However, as a business, this means that you're getting a very low ROI, a return on investment, for your energy. You know, the average post is seen by about 1 to 3% of your followers. But if you are strategic about how you encourage engagement with your followers, you can increase that percent so more of your followers see your posts. But I want you to compare this with an open rate of, say, 30 to 40% for an email, which are normal benchmark numbers, and you're talking about a really small reach and visibility on Instagram when you compare those two. Thirdly, and I promise I will make this one the last because I could go on forever about why you shouldn't spend too much time on social media, is that the conversion percentages are pretty low on Instagram. So conversion is how many people, upon seeing your post, take an action. As shop owners, we want people to buy our stuff, right? So we're looking for purchase conversions. Instagram was designed for browsing, looking at pretty pictures and chatting with friends. That's what drives the algorithm. It's not inherently a shopping platform, but think about how a typical person would go about making a purchase, right? They see your post And unless you have Instagram shopping set up, they need to go to your profile, click on the link in your profile, link in bio, leave the platform, and then get to your site, find the item you were talking about, add that item to their cart, and then check out. Do you see how this buying process is super long? There are so many steps involved for just making one sale. And this whole process doesn't get completed most of the time. You could get 100 people coming to your site, and if one person buys, that's actually considered a really good and healthy conversion rate of 1%. So you need a lot of traffic from Instagram to make meaningful sales, which means you're not likely to get a ton of sales from the platform alone unless you are very strategic. So let's talk about the strategy, okay? When you think about Instagram, the first thing people think of is creating content, usually about posting a pretty picture and a caption. And so let's make that the first place we start, even though, as you'll find out, that's a very small part of what it takes to be successful. When you post good quality, engaging content, then more people will like it, which means that your content will be shown to more people by the algorithm, which increases your organic reach, which is awesome. You want to check out this video for content ideas and what to post, but I'll also give you some quick basics right now. I know it sounds obvious, but you need to post content that your audience is interested in. It may not be content you're most interested in, and it may not even be content that is working for other businesses. For example, if your audience follows you for your nature-inspired pastel aesthetic, then posting a vivid rainbow urban piece of artwork isn't going to be very popular, even if it's a trend going viral for other artists. The only way to know what your audience connects with is to do a little bit of experimentation and keep track of what's working by looking at your insights, which are available to any business account, which you should set up if you haven't already. You want to take note of any post that gets more engagement than usual, whether it's likes, comments, or reach, and do more of that. Look for a common thread and keep refining what's working. When you're posting, you'll want to include hashtags on your posts so that you can be discovered by those interested in your niche. It takes a bit of work to find a group of hashtags that work for you, but start by putting yourself in your ideal customer's shoes and think about what they're posting on Instagram and what hashtags they might be using. For example, if you make handmade bookmarks, then your ideal customer is probably into reading books, right? And what do book lovers like to do? They like to take and post pictures of their favorite books or the books they're currently reading. So what kinds of hashtags might they be using? Once you find those hashtags, also pay attention to the other hashtags your ideal customers' posts are using and the hashtags that are recommended by Instagram in your search. You want to find hashtags that aren't too popular because otherwise there's too much competition to get seen, but you also don't want hashtags that are too small, which means no one's using them. And no one's going to see your post when it shows up in that hashtag's feed. So after a bit of work, you'll find a collection that's diverse in hashtag sizes and most importantly, that your ideal customers are actually using. Now, I don't recommend using generic hashtag lists that sites and bloggers out there give you because it's most likely that you'll start attracting non-buyers and other people who are makers like you. And most of the time, those people aren't your customers. Now, Instagram has expanded its features over the years, right? Not only is there the ability to post regular posts, but now you can add stories, which is content that's only visible for 24 hours. And then there's video and direct messaging. People use Instagram for entertainment and content, which means that as a small business, this is your opportunity to give it to them. You want to take a look at my Instagram stories video for tips about how to use Instagram stories effectively. But in short, it is a great tool that allows you to connect in an authentic way with your audience. And because stories appear outside of the feed, your content will be seen by a different segment of your audience, which means more reach for your account. In short, to be successful at content creation, you need to post great content that connects with your audience regularly. It starts there, but that's only a small part of the strategy. The common mistake I see with people on Instagram is they spend 80% of their time creating and posting content. You can just keep posting and posting, but if that's all you do, you're not going to get anywhere and it shouldn't come as a surprise when you don't see your followers, engagement, and sales go up. Because the truth is that posting is only a small part of the story. The reason it's called social media is that you're supposed to be social. Engagement is what sets social media apart from other kinds of marketing, like your email newsletter or media outreach. Engagement is an umbrella term for the actions of liking, commenting, tapping on your post, saving it, or sending you a direct message. I'm going to walk you through 3 important components of engagement for a successful account, which is likes or comments, search, and outreach. Let's start by talking about likes and comments, which are a crucial part of your strategy. The algorithm likes to see that your account is interacting with other accounts, and when you do so, you do much better than if you just post and then leave the app. So if someone comments on your post, you'll want to reply, even if it's just a simple thank you response or an emoji, which takes 3 seconds to do. Not only is that good customer service, but it's the start of building relationships. But if all you're doing is replying to comments on your own posts, you're not doing enough. To be truly successful, you need to use likes and comments as a form of outreach. That means that you should be liking and commenting on posts that show up in your feed. And for every 5 likes or 3 comments you leave, you'll get about 1 follower in return. And how that works is the other person will get a notification that you just liked or commented on your post. So this person will be thinking, hey, someone commented on my photo, let me go look at their page. And if they like what they see on your account, they will follow you. So when you do this, it not only grows your following, but it also increases the likelihood of your audience seeing your posts. When someone interacts with you or visits your profile, then the algorithm will show them your content more often, which is totally the desired result, right? Okay, so you're liking and commenting on posts in your feed. Now, to take that one step further for maximum efficacy, you need to go beyond your own account and your own feed, and you need to search for your potential ideal customers on Instagram and like and comment on posts that aren't already in your feed. You need to be actively seeking out those new accounts that might be your ideal customer. So, how do you do this? Start by searching the hashtags that we talked about earlier, except instead of just using them for your own posts, use them as a way of finding new people. Follow the rabbit hole of recommended posts and accounts for just a bit to find new accounts that fit your niche, and then continue liking and commenting. You can also think about larger brands than you who already attract your ideal customer, but ideally who don't sell exactly the same thing as you. Like maybe you sell bohemian style art and wall decor. So seek out larger brands that sell bohemian clothing and interact with their followers and the people who engage with their account. It's like if you move to a new town, you're not going to meet anyone if you don't go outside and start meeting people, right? Sure, 1 or 2 nice people may come to your door, but the real work is on you. Great, so now you're planning on finding new accounts and regularly engaging by liking and commenting. That's all great, but now I want you to go the final step, and that's reaching out with intent. Who do you want to follow you? Are there influencers or publishers that you would love to connect with? Are there retail shops that you would love for them to carry your products? Are there key shoppers that you would love to be your customers? Target them and start engaging with them. This can be anything from simply following them, liking or commenting on their posts, to sending them a direct message in an authentic way and connecting that way. You want to interact with your ideal customers who don't already follow you and introduce yourself with a few comments, and a percentage of those people you interact with will likely begin to follow you back. And if they don't, they may not be your ideal customer anyway. Instagram is a great place to get started with influencer marketing because the contact mechanism is already built in. In the olden days, you'd have to ask for an influencer's marketing kit with their number of followers and a portfolio of previous work that they've done. But now, right on Instagram, you have their follower numbers and a portfolio of past work. It's so transparent, and you're just one button click away from sending them a message or an email, right? Consider reaching out to other Instagram influencer accounts if they're a really good fit and ask them to feature you in exchange for a free product. I have a whole other video that talks about doing that, and I'll link that here. So post great content that connects with your audience, engage via comments, active search, and purposeful outreach. And watch your account grow and your conversion rates improve over time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel, and stay on to watch this next video on the screen for more handmade business tips.